Today's reading vlog, you guessed it, is the 𝘰𝘱𝘦𝘯 flip book by Alex Astor. Now, if you guys have been following this channel for about a year or two now, you guys know that I started the Lightlark series or saga on this channel, and we read every individual book on this channel in each video for reading vlogs, mainly because my reading vlogs are usually very long, so I decide not to put them all in one video when I have multiple books. I actually do have Crown Tide, so next time you guys see me reading a book by Alex Astor, it's going to be Crown Tide. Yes, and genuinely I'm debating getting her adult novel because it literally sounds just like Lightlark, but just put in with different characters. Who cares, right? So we have this gorgeous book, first of all. Now let me catch you up. So you know, this has spoilers, first of all. So if you have read the Lightlark saga and you read this one, but it's your first time tuning in with me, you want to see how I feel, I'm gonna catch you up on some things, okay? First of all, on this channel we are Team Grimm. We are not Team 𝘰𝘱𝘦. Now if you're Team 𝘰𝘱𝘦, that's your opinion, babes. I'm not Team 𝘰𝘱𝘦. Now I'm gonna tell you guys why, because I say this a lot of times. In the first book, 𝘰𝘱𝘦 hated her. Okay, like it was pure hatred, right? And people, I'm a sucker for good enemies to lovers, but this guy literally hated her up until like the last 10 pages when he realized she wanted somebody else. Just say you want me because she wants him. And the things this man does for 𝘰𝘱𝑦 doesn't even deserve it, okay? The things this man does for her, right? He did what he did in the first book because he loved her. He sacrificed because he loved her. So yes, on this channel we are Team Grimm, okay? And I don't know what side to start on, but I want to save Grimm's for last. So we will be starting on 𝘰𝘱𝘦 side in this reading vlog. Mainly because we're saving my favorite for last. But okay, I just first of all need to applaud Alex Astor's artist. The artist always slays. Like, teach me, please. Also, I don't think these have to be in any specific order. They don't say start here or anything of the sort. They just say 𝘰𝘱𝘦𝘯. So we are definitely starting on 𝘰𝘱 side because after 𝘰𝘱𝘦, you know, it ended pretty kooky wooky, but it is okay. Wait, dang. Okay, dang. So I'm trying to see how long 𝘰𝘱𝑦's is because his takes up more than half of this freaking book. He has 266 pages in his book. Cool. I was about to say love that for him. Don't know if that's true, but yeah, and Grimm has 222. So we're gonna do 𝘰𝘱𝑦's first to get the big bulky side out the way because he has more pages than Grimm does. Am I complaining? Yes, I actually am. Alex Astor, how dare you? But yes, we are starting out on 𝘰𝘱𝑦 side. So forgot how to put this in for a second. 𝘰𝘱𝑦 side, we are starting on, and once again, this is a spoiler reading vlog. Spoilers. Okay, so a quick update on the 𝘰𝘱𝑦 because I haven't done any updates since the reading vlog has started. I'm kind of bored. Let's see how far into it I am. I've been reading this book. I started this reading vlog 3 months ago. And I barely moved, which is saying a lot because I've read so much. I'm on page 65. of Oros. I haven't done anything regarding Grimm yet, but I'm on page 65 of Oros' book, and I am immensely bored. And I wanted to like pick up, and you're kind of like, oh well, it's the beginning of the book. But the thing is, Alex Astor has already picked it up. She has already raised the stakes. We have actually been introduced to Grimm himself from Oros POV, and we're just starting the book. But it's like, it's not exciting, and I don't know why it's not exciting. I feel like I enjoy reading like the books better from Isa's point of view, and I haven't read Grimm's point of view yet, so that's not for certain. Maybe it's just my hate for Oro, because you guys know I'm not an Oro girly, I'm a Grimm girly. I'm team Grimm all the way and not Oro. But I feel like it's just like not written the way Isla's books are written. Like, Isla's are written, even if I didn't like some of like the books, or I didn't like some of the scenes in the books, the way that Isla's point of view is written is so interesting, and the way things are described, and I just love it. But then I'm reading Oros, and I'm kind of just like bored, and I'm like, where is that spark that we got when it came to Isla? So I'm kind of just wondering where all that is. I want the pace to pick up. I want it to get better. I want to enjoy this, because girl, I'm not trying to read a book I don't enjoy. This is how far into it I am. I have about until the halfway mark of the book. Let's see if I can finish at least Oros by the end of the week, and then we can finally do our little flip and then do Grimm's, which Grimm's is actually shorter than Oros. So I'm kind of worried, because Alex Astor has also been saying like, you're gonna want to switch teams by the end of the series. Are you saying you want me to be team Oro? Because that's never gonna happen. He's boring and he's bland, and also like he's boring and he's bland, and like I know that for Isla and Oro, it would be like true enemies to lovers, because he genuinely did hate her and he wanted her dead at the beginning of the book, and it wasn't just some hatred, right? But the thing is, he said some stuff to Isla where I was just like, oh, you're gonna let that slide? And then he turns around and he's like, oh my gosh, actually, I've loved you since the moment you walked in here. Well, you didn't act like it. You didn't act like it. You really certainly didn't. And yeah, those are just my thoughts. I want to get better. I'm hoping it will get better. We will see if it gets better, and I'll check in with you guys a little later, because girls got to go. Okay, you guys have been lacking updates on my reading progress on Grimm and Oro, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys that I've been traveling, and I'm like at the airport like right now, so hashtag going home, I guess. But I have actually been reading it, and it's picked up the pace. I'm actually intrigued. I'm genuinely interested in like what Oro's point of view has like to serve the purpose of like the story, and it's super interesting. So once again, I'm at the airport, so if you guys hear music, talking, girl, I can't go nowhere. I can't. I'm in the Sky Club. Okay, I can't go nowhere. But with that being said, I find it absurd that at one point, like, Grimm and Oro used to be friends, or like something of the sort. And genuinely, okay, so quick theory here. I'm gonna make an entire YouTube short about this probably, but quick theory here. I, as a Grimm girly, think that Isla's gonna end up with Oro, personally, because Alex Astor said that most of us are gonna switch teams. Majority rule of us are Team Grimm, and also Oro is the king of Lightlark, right? The first book in the series is called Lightlark. Now you might just be like, okay, well that's because it takes place there. Sure, but we take place in other locations, but the book isn't named after the location that the book is set in, now is it? So why would it be, like, why would one specifically be named after Oro's kingdom and not the rest of the books? Exactly. Now I might just be like a little slow, but it's okay. But I found that extremely interesting. And when you see everything is like coming into play, I was just like, wow, you know. And I feel like maybe since I haven't read the latest one, which I think is Crown Tide yet, maybe since they're supposed to be like following Isla and they're trying to find her, they'll like rekindle that friendship that they once had. But to be honest, I'm not sure. That's just what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping to see. But I didn't want to give you guys an update because I actually haven't updated you guys in like a good minute. I also haven't, like, I literally have been sitting at the same percentage since the last update that I did. And then today I was just like, okay, let's listen to the audiobook because I'm looking kind of bored and I want to finish Oro's point of view, so when I get home I can start on Grimm's, or I'm closer to starting Grimm's. And I was genuinely sucked into Oro's point of view, and I feel like the way that Alex Astor like switched it up and actually brought the excitement and the tension back into the story and into the room really just like had me captivated. And I was just like, okay, cool, like this is the vibes that I came for when I read Lightlark. Lightlark was a good book. Then we had Nightbane. I could not stand Nightbane. Then we had 𝘰𝘱𝘦, and 𝘰𝘱𝘦 was okay, but I was still kind of annoyed with it. And then Nightbane was okay, but I feel like with Grimm and Oro, this is what I was looking for. This is what I was hoping for, and I'm glad that we're kind of like seeing it kind of reemerge. I will give you guys more updates when I get further into it, but as of right now, that is my current status of the book and my current enjoyment and my current opinion. Okay, your girl is not presentable looking right now, so we're gonna just talk and look at the book, okay? So, we are actually making very good progress towards this. We have about like 4 chapters of Oro's POV left. And then we can flip over to Grimm's, which I did notice that Grimm's is actually very short compared to Oro's. But back to what I was saying about Oro's point of view, I feel like it's very nice because as somebody who's Team Grimm and really didn't like Oro because I thought he was a really bad character, like bad character as in I thought he was like a bad person, and I thought that he really didn't deserve 𝘰𝘱𝘦. Now that I'm reading his point of view and I'm reading how Alex Astor kind of envisioned it, I don't think I would be mad if 𝘰𝘱𝘦 ended up with like, and this is like how I'm seeing this, because I usually hate love triangles because they're usually so unbalanced where it's like it's obvious that one character should get the girl and the other one is just straight trash. And I was like, okay, that's probably why the Lightlark series was not top tier for me, because I was just like, this is just like any other basic kind of love triangle, because it's obvious that Grimm should be the one that ends up with 𝘰𝘱𝘦 and Oro is just the trash option. But then we get Oro's point of view and we see his feelings and his emotions and the reason why he did the things that he did in the first book, Lightlark. And you're kind of just like, okay, wait, now I'm kind of like, dang. So I wouldn't be mad if 𝘰𝘱𝘦 ended up with Oro, but I wouldn't like be jumping for joy. But I would not be upset. Like I feel like if she got with Oro at the end of the series, I wouldn't be mad. I could smile about it. Now if she got with Grimm, girl, I'd be rejoicing, right? Now, going to the beginning real quick. So once again, with this entire like Oro thing, seeing his backstory and seeing how his family was and his father was, and seeing like what he had to endure at times and the immense amounts of betrayal that he had to go through and he had to endure from friends and family members, and the amount of things that he had to do that weren't even in his position to do. Like for example, trying to break up the affair that his brother had with another ruler. That was not supposed to be his place, but he was acting more like a king than his brother was. Now, if you're confused, I mean in the sense that the king is supposed to prioritize the kingdom, right? But his brother wasn't doing that. So Oro had to snap him out of it and be like, yo, you kind of have to prioritize the kingdom. And his brother didn't listen. So that's kind of just like what I mean. And then obviously he had the betrayal of Grimm, where Grimm kind of like took that trust and that friendship that they had and swapped it, like twisted it to something darker, something deeper, and kind of just broke that bond that Oro and Grimm had. Because look, this entire Grimm versus Oro thing where they're like enemies in the book wouldn't have been a thing had not Oro, like Grimm, hadn't have done what he did, which technically speaking he didn't, but he gave information to somebody else to do it. So technically it was a betrayal on Grimm's half because he was feeding people information about Lightlark, and that was against like that friendship code, right? So I will say this, in the past, I would say like chapter 2 or 3, I don't know what it is with Alex Astor. Oh, Pete the Snoopy Pajamas, we love Snoopy over here. I don't know what it is with Alex Astor and her obsession with like spicy scenes and YA books, but it's not giving. Now, it wasn't a true spicy scene, thank goodness, because we've had actual ones in this YA young adult no spice series. There's been spice, right? Now, It wasn't a full one, but it was very suggestive, and you could tell where it was leading had it have not been stopped. And I feel like when it comes to, if you want to imply that, do it like how Jaden Thompson did it. Jaden Thompson in Shades of Red, she did a fade to black, right? But you don't have to give us all the other details because there are teenagers reading. It is a teenager rated book. There's not supposed to be adult content or adult suggestions in a teenager rated book. So that's always just been my problem after when Nightmare came out. That was one of the main problems I had. When Skieshade came out, I liked Skieshade, but one of my main problems with Skieshade was the amount of smut that was not supposed to be in the book because it's for teenagers. And I was thinking we were doing so good, and then boom, we had this entire dream scene, and I was just like, okay guys. Also, if my voice is weird, I kind of lost my voice. I have musical auditions next week, so I'm trying to talk softly. I can talk normally like this, but I'm just trying to rest my voice because I quite literally have to sing next Wednesday. It is currently Thursday night, so I don't have a lot of time for my voice to heal. I have my song perfected, but I cannot sing without a good voice, so I will be sounding a little raspy. But yes, this is like a little update on how we're reading. Like I said, we're literally like 4 chapters away from swapping, so like you guys will get updates soon. And I know I haven't had a chance. Oh, once again, look at this gorgeous art. I know I haven't had a chance to like let you guys watch me read. I definitely, if I don't get it done by the Oral side, you guys will definitely get it for the Grim side, because Oral side I've been listening to the audiobook. Grim side I have to pay for the audiobook, so we're not listening to the audiobook. So you guys will actually see me physically reading Grim side, which physically reading it has never been a problem. I do that for most of my reading vlogs. Sometimes I will listen to the audiobook. Physically reading has never been a problem. It's just at the beginning, it was very slow moving. So I picked up the audiobook while I was traveling in New York. And even the audiobook was moving really slow. I had actually picked up the audiobook before I left for New York. And the audiobook was moving slow because the story was moving slow. But then once it picked up, it picked up. Like I could genuinely read the rest of this, but I have stuff to do. So I'm going to listen to the audiobook. And then if I have any time, and I haven't finished Oral side, then we'll read Oral side. But yes, I just want to give you guys an update because that's just how things are going. I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to see how this goes, because especially another reason why I really did not like Oral was because he exposed Isla's secret. But now we kind of see like why he did it, and he had to kind of like, he wants to break the cycle. He wants to break the cycle that his brother had set, and so he had to expose her secret in order to benefit his own kingdom. So I kind of get it, but I kind of don't, but I kind of get it now that I'm getting his point of view and his side of the story, which I know we got it in Lightlark, but I wasn't buying it in Lightlark. Kind of buying it now, okay? But yes, I will see you guys in the next clip. Good morning, everybody. It is the next day after, and like you just previously saw in the last clip, I have finished Oro's side of the Grim and Oro dual POV book, and now I'm flipping over to Grim's side. And I don't know if this is gonna pick up like where Oro's side left off, which is basically just the end of Lightlark and like a little bit after that. I don't know if Grim's side's gonna pick up on that, but if it does, I'm not complaining. Maybe it might pick up where Oro's picked up, which was basically the childhood going into the friendship, all that. Look at this gorgeous art right here. We might also just get his point of view with Isla, which would make a lot of sense because we never really like, when we were in Isla's point of view in Skieshade, yeah, we kind of saw it, but we never really saw it, you know, because she got her memories back in portions. So it'd be nice to kind of see the whole story from Grim's point of view. And I'm really excited to just kind of see if this book, because right now this book is kind of making me like love characters more, don't dislike characters more. So I will see if this makes me team Graham or team Oro. But we're starting on the chapter Infinite, and I'm really excited. So let's just go ahead and get reading. Your girl's excited, you're excited, we're all excited, okay? Let's read.
What the dog doing? What the dog doing?
Okay, so I just read the first chapter, which was Infinite of Graham's point of view, and I have a few thoughts specifically about the similarities between Aura's point of view and Graham's point of view with only just the first chapter. And I did want to mention the fact that with both point of views, they both have flares that they don't want their siblings to find out about, and also their parents, because their parents will definitely take advantage of the fact that they have said flare. Also, the fact that they are both the younger sibling to the heir, the future supposed king or queen of their kingdoms, was something that I found extremely interesting. Like the way that Oro and Grimm have such similarities, and also when you read Oro's point of view and you have Grimm who does not want to go back home, you kind of see like, okay, well, we kind of see now why, because his home was not a safe space for him to live, for him to survive, do anything, because that was not a safe space for him to be in. Now, the next chapter is in 5 years later, and I don't know, I haven't read it yet. We're going to probably read it later, not right now. I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go eat something, and also I want to take a shower, so we're probably gonna do that before I come back to reading this. But I didn't want to give you guys like a little update. This is the first time you guys have actually seen me physically read part of it. The first chapter was only 13 pages long, so it wasn't too long of a chapter, and it was just something simple to get me into it. I'm actually not that intrigued, and the reason why is because remember when I was talking about the similarities between Grimm and Oro's points of view, and that's kind of like throwing me off because it kind of feels like they're exact carbon copies, just different characters and slightly different scenarios, because kind of just like they're literally almost the same person. So I'm hoping that Alex Astor switches it up and we get some more like seasoning within Grimm's point of view, because like I said, both of the sides seem very similar. They almost seem like the exact same situation, which on one hand is kind of cool because you kind of see why they do the things that they do and how they relate to each other and why they are such enemies, because they relate to each other so much and they were almost friends, and that kind of stirs up the pot. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm just like, it kind of feels like she just copy and pasted for both sides and then just changed the names, changed some details, and boom. Also, I did want to give a little comment on Layla, because Layla is, from the looks of it, based off what we read only in the first chapter, Layla is so quick to get Grimm in these situations, but then will not get him out of it. She will dip and then leave him to suffer, knowing that he will suffer when she leaves him. And I'm pretty sure she is the oldest, so it's kind of just like, girl, no. But that is just how my emotions on the first chapter. I'm gonna go get something to eat, and then I'm probably gonna read some more. I think I'm gonna get the book on Audible because I have Audible credits and there's no books on Audible that I want this month, so I'm probably just gonna get Grimm's side on Audible so I can listen to it while I eat and while I get some stuff done. I don't know like how far into this it goes, but we will see. So yes, so the next chapter is Bottomless, and it's 5 years later. And once again, I know I already showed you guys this, like, but this is just gorgeous. Like, what? This art is stunning. But yes, that's my updates. That's my current emotions on what we have read so far, and I will see you guys in the next check-in.
What the dog doing?
Okay, so there is an hour left in the book, and I'm having fun. My theory was correct. We are following Grimm and Isla's story before she lost her memories, which is setting up good for Crownside, which we're gonna read hopefully soon, so I can be done until the next book comes out. Yeah, but I think that showing us kind of like the backstory and how they met in a much more in-depth way, because while we did get to see a little bit in it of during 𝘰𝘱𝘦, because she had those memories and she had like those waves of times where she was like, oh my gosh, wait, I'm starting to remember things that happened before my memories were erased from this time period. We got to see some of that, but now we're seeing it more in depth, and we're kind of seeing how they met, and we're seeing like the emotions that were flying through both of them, and we're seeing how their powers and their flares and everything is just playing out, and I'm just like, okay, I love it. I love it. But I really do love how we are seeing 𝘰𝘱𝘦 and Grimm before everything went to ash and dust and we got to the centennial. So I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. Once again, there's only like an hour left. I'm listening to the audiobook and I'm like, what's it called when you listen to the audiobook and you read at the same time? Is it like dual reading or something? It's dual something, I think. But yeah, this is the current chapter. The last chapter, which was like watching something, it was like waiting and watching. I'm excited because I plan on redecorating my shelves soon. So that'll be a video for you guys to see me redecorating my shelves. That'll be fun. Yeah. But on that note, I just want to give you guys like an update on how the reading is going because the girl is having a good time. I'm glad that the pace kind of picked up. Right now, it's kind of sitting at like a 3 to 4 star for me, 3.5, because it's not extravagant, but it's fun. And, you know, I just wish some things were different. Obviously, like, there's some books where you wish things were different. And I wish it didn't start off as slow because the books do start off slow. But we also, when we get to, oh, yes, this part really intrigued me because I was cleaning listening to the audiobook. The part in Oro's point of view where the curses start and like everything goes to destruction after him befriending Grimm, and he believes it's Grimm, and when he asks Grimm and it's like it's halfway truthful, he thinks okay, so he has something to do with it. But then you read Grimm's point of view and he's like, I had nothing to do with this. I don't know, he thinks I had something to do with this. I had nothing to do with it, right? So I was kind of just like, oh my gosh, kind of like sad. It's kind of heartbreaking. Like I really hope like in Crowdside that the two of them resolve their issues and they become friends again, because that would be amazing. That'd be fun. But yes, that is the update. I didn't want to give you guys said update because I feel like I don't do them. I'm really bad at updating you guys in reading vlogs, and I feel like that's kind of my problem with reading vlogs and why they're usually so short is because I'm so bad at updating you guys and so bad at letting you guys like see me read and see me enjoy the book. But yes, that's just where I'm sitting at right now. I'm about to put my hair up, I'm about to take a shower, and then I'm probably gonna speak to you guys. If I finish this book tonight, then you guys will see it, but the next time you guys will actually hear from me is probably gonna be tomorrow morning, because once I put my hair up, it's not coming back down. You know how long it takes this hair up? It takes 30 minutes to pink color this hair. Yeah, no, it's not coming back down. So I will see you guys when I see you guys. I don't know, we will see. Guys, yes, because this has been us together, have officially finished Oro's point of view. I have been reading this book since December. It is February, near the end. We're like, literally, it is February 22nd. We're so close to the end of February, and I'm just now finishing this book. I started this at the beginning of December. There is no reason. So I want to talk to you guys about Grimm's point of view and then the book overall, like as a whole, and then we're gonna end off this video. You guys already saw my review for the entirety of the book, but who cares, because that review was long, so you guys didn't actually really see the whole thing. You guys just saw like the first few paragraphs because it was a lot. But let's just go ahead and talk about Grimm's point of view real quick. So Grimm's point of view, like I mentioned earlier, was quite literally a copy and paste from Oro's point of view. He had a father that was not that supportive of him. He had a flare that he kept hiding from his father and his entirety of his family because he knew it would endanger him or would jeopardize them in some kind of way. His sibling was supposed to be the heir and supposed to be like the next king or queen, and then they got killed, and then automatically they got like bumped up to king or queen. Like, y'all cannot tell me that these don't sound the exact same. And I kind of just felt like, okay, the beginning of the books are literally copy paste from each other. And I was just like, I want something different. I want something original for either one of these point of views. But since I read Oro's first, and automatically I'm gonna be like, okay, I want something different from Grimm. Like, I wanted them to have different backstories. Like, we already knew they didn't have a great relationship with their father. That's cool, you can keep that. But to have every single thing be the same, from the heir to the secret flare to their powers, not being able to wield their powers. Oro couldn't wield his fire, and then Grimm couldn't wield his freaking shadows. Like, they are literally copy paste the same thing. So I was just like, okay, well, I wanted something different. Okay, and then after we like move past that entire Oro debacle where they're like friends and then like they're not friends anymore, we get where 𝘰𝘱𝘦 comes in like immediately into Grimm's story. Now listen, Isla entering Oral's story was not an issue because Oral saw her as a person. Oral had true emotions where he was like, okay, well, she's intelligent, she's smart, and like he would listen to what the things she was saying and he would like admire her. Then when you get to Grimm's, it's pure lust. It didn't matter what she said, he would just automatically be thinking something absurd in his mind. And one thing that I don't know if authors, because it's not just Alex Astor, but it's actually been so many YA authors, some things I don't think that authors understand is that when you write a YA book and then rate it YA, as like that's supposed to be the people who are reading it, the YA, young adults, teenagers, there's not supposed to be spice, any like things that allude to wanting to be spice, none of that. It's a YA book for teenagers. It doesn't need to have, like, that's literally what she wrote Starside for. It doesn't need to have all of that, okay? We were doing just fine. But the entirety, like, let's say this. No, that's generous. That's really generous. This much of Grimm's story was about him, but it also felt copy paste, so I don't really know like if that's something you guys want to go off of. But this is Grimm's story, and then where does his story end? Like right here. This entirety. Hello, girly pops. This entirety. So this is the not even original, but the original Grimm story. This is when Isla enters. This entire thing is literally about the things he wants to do to her. Whatever, man. Whatever. We're done. Okay, we're done. So, Grimm and Oro, is it worth your time? And like, maybe you watch this video with the spoilers because you didn't want to read it. You're saving yourself time. It took me 3 months. It took you about 40 minutes of your life. You're saving a lot of time. Okay, so Oral's point of view, if you plan on reading this, I would say the only one really worth reading is Oral's, because Grimm's, no. Like, genuinely, I'm considering switching sides. I'm about to be Team Oro. Genuinely, I'm about to be Team Oro, because like Grimm, what was this? Alex Astor, what was this? Okay, so now let's just talk about the entirety of the book and why it took me 3 months to read it. Oral's side, like, this is why I rated it 3 stars. The book was rated 3 stars because Oral's side wasn't even good enough to make up and make it a 4-star and just take off a star for Grimm's. No, because Oral, oh my gosh, it didn't get, his point of view didn't even get interesting until the 20% mark. Do you know how far into that book that is? Like, this much of the book. It took me this much of the book to actually enjoy what I was reading and actually get into it. It started off so slow and mundane, and I wanted the story to pick up the pace. Like, truly, I did. I was just like, okay, guys, where is the plot? Where's the story? Like, because I was bored. You're reading about them in like the woods or whatever, this training camp for the first portion, and then when he gets back, and then just like his adventure, not his adventures, but you guys know what I'm saying. And then you got like, you get to that part where the war breaks out, and that's when it gets interesting. But do you know how far into the book you have to get, and how far into Oral's point of view you have to get into for you to get to the part of the war between Grimm and Oro? Girl, it's a while. And like, that's like page 100 something. Took me 100 pages to start enjoying the book. Now, when there's a fantasy book, you have to world build, you have to give backstory. That was never my problem. The backstory, the world building was never my problem. You can write a fantasy book with world building, and I'm not one of Warren Roberts' biggest fans right now, because yeah. But let's just take a few books on my shelf, for example. Powerless, you can immediately hook somebody from the first word. I was not hooked. I almost saw a fantasy book. Fourth Wing is a great example of how you could have nothing happen, but there's stuff happening. Like Fourth Wing, we didn't even get into like the actual like training until like pages 100 something, but the world building and the plot was not boring. I was intrigued. Caraval. It was so magical before the magic even happened. We went on 27 side quests before we even got to Caraval, and I was interested. Like, you can write a story where the world building isn't like plain. It's simple. And I feel like I'm being harsh, but at the same time, it's kind of just like, I'm reviewing the book. I'm here to give you guys honest reviews. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and be like, okay, this book was amazing, and then call it a day. Because I didn't enjoy myself for about 50% of the book. No, 60, 80. Wait, my math is off. 50% is grim. 70% of the book. Okay, 70% of the book, and then the 30% of orals that I did enjoy, it was only 30% worth it. So if you do plan on getting this, or you already have it, I would just say don't even read Grimm's point of view, or else it's the only one that's worth reading. Mind you, I'm about to be an XX, but currently, I'm still debating. We're Grimm girlies, but we might be oral girlies in a second because I don't know what Grimm's story was. I don't know what he was thinking, but Isla deserves better. Isla deserves better than someone who doesn't even care about her thoughts and feelings like Aurora does. Yeah, but that is it for today's rating vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know you guys have been waiting on this for a while because you guys said you guys wanted this video like months ago. But it took a minute to get into it, and then once I get into it, I don't know, man. I don't know. But that is it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Man, kisses. Mwah. I hope you guys subscribe, like, hit notifications, so you guys never ever miss a video. Happy birthday if it's your birthday. Jesus loves you. Wait, I love you, but Jesus loves you more. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.